Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I'm gonna do a walk of shame here because I have not been very active in my garden for a year. I've been out here a little bit doing a few things here and there. I've done a lot over the last month. It may not look like it, but just to start with, you can see this apple tree has all these suckers. And this whole area through here was just loaded with this grapevine. I mean, everywhere you looked was covered with grapevine through there. So I have done a lot, but I'm going to show you kind of what it probably looked like a couple weeks ago before I did anything. And if you look over here, look at that. This is what your yard looks like if you have a lot of trees and plants and you don't take care of them. And so there is some silver lining, and I'll talk about that. But you know, if you look at the abundance here, I didn't fertilize, I didn't plant anything, but I've got a lot of fruit. These are kumquats. This is my June plum, which, I mean, this thing has just exploded this year. You can see there's a bunch of fruit on here that I'm hoping will ripen up here in the next 2 months, and I'll be able to enjoy that because this thing is doing really well. Orange tree looks good. Grapevine spreading. We got some volunteer Egyptian spinach, some cucumbers in here. White sapote looks good. This is my Loquat tree, which survived its second summer now, and I'm hoping this thing will put on some growth. It looks like it wants to here a little bit. So look at this. So I got to get this out of here because this Egyptian spinach, these pots, these are all seed pots, and they start like this, and then they brown up, and then in a couple weeks these will split open, just, and each one of these has, you know, 50 plus seeds, and there's thousands of seeds just waiting to plop and just throughout this area just blow up. So I'm going to take care of that today. Let's see, all my pots, everything in pots has died because I haven't been watering them. So that's kind of sad. Oh, except for one. I'll show you as we go through this. My new starts look good. This is my other cucumber plant that volunteered. It's a West Indian burr gherkin, which is a tongue twister to say, but these things are so abundant. And I probably have several hundred of cucumbers in here that I need to harvest. Pak choy, this is looking good. My Jujube tree, this thing is too bossy for my yard. I think it's you know, it's full of thorns, its roots are invasive, and you know, it's like coming over here and it's just kind of taking everything over. I've got all these suckers popping up all over. A couple here, there. So I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with that because they're popping up on the other side of the mulberry over here. There's some down there you can't see. I think they got shaded out a little bit, but this tree just needs more space. It's a free range tree. It needs its space to just kind of do its thing, run about the yard, and my yard's probably too small for it. So I may have to make a tough decision on this because this thing is very productive. I get a lot of jujubes off of it. Let's see what else. This side of the yard's not as bad. It's just overgrown. So I do most of my pruning in the fall once all the leaves start falling off of these deciduous trees through here. This is one potted tree that made it right here. It's a fig tree, and it looks great. It's putting on this tender new growth. It just looks amazing, and you wonder, how did this survive? This pot fell over and hasn't been watered, but here's what it does. So if you leave your pots sitting in the same place for too long, the roots will just pop out here and they get into the ground, and then this is just a rooted tree into the ground. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do with that. I mean, I think I may need to transplant that. I got a spot I can put it, so I'll figure that out. Let's see. This is just, you know, messy, just overgrown. This isn't too bad. Here's some more silver lining. Look at these pomegranates. Oh my god, these is the biggest pomegranate I have ever seen. Definitely on my tree, and even in a store or anything like that. So the pomegranate tree is really doing well. So I'm gonna have a ton of pomegranates here shortly. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna do a couple update videos over the next couple weeks as I clean up and figure out what I'm gonna do with some of these trees. This one's just too aggressive. That apple tree doesn't produce, so I gotta make some tough decisions. Mulberry needs to be trimmed. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and I'll give you some updates.